All right, welcome to Millennial Motive. This is Orlando. To my left, I have Kyle.
What's good?
We got George straight in front of me.
Hello, hello.
And then today we have a special guest, good friend Celine.
Hey guys.
So how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me here today.
Yeah, it's been too long, Celine. Since what, high school? My goodness, that's 6 long years.
Can you guys believe we've been out of high school for 6 years?
No.
Like in 4 years, we're gonna have our high school reunion. I've been counting that down for a really long
Really?
time. I know.
Oh, I know.
I haven't been counting it down, but it's just like, no, really, like in 4 years, like we've had 2019 just graduated.
Yeah,
That's
it's the
weird.
10-year anniversary, right? That's what they do?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Are you going to the high school reunion?
Yeah, with you
Did
guys.
you go flex? Yeah, go flex on them. I see it. I understand.
No, I'm still determining whether I want to go to that or not. I don't know.
Yeah, we're going.
No, but the pod is not about the high school reunion.
What the podcast is about showing up with a helicopter to your high school reunion. That's what it's about.
Exactly.
George always on point. I swear.
So today, Celine, you know, we've been talking, Celine. I want to thank you for being on the podcast for sure. Taking the time to come out here.
It's my first podcast appearance. I'm really honored to be here with you guys. Yeah.
No, we're going to have a good time.
For sure.
Celine, what are you doing right now?
Yeah, so I want to start with what you do.
I'll backtrack from what I've been doing since high school.
Yeah.
When we graduated high school, my parents had separated. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Oh, I didn't know.
Well, you know how like remember that house that I was in?
Yeah.
The party.
Oh, yeah.
The party house. So we moved back to San Diego, like actually second semester of senior year. I graduated high school a semester early and went to San Diego, and I didn't know, like I had a month to think about what I wanted to do, but college wasn't it. But it wasn't because I like didn't want to go to college. I mean, that too, I just didn't know what I wanted to do. My parents had separated. My mom was a single mom, and I didn't want to waste anyone's time and money, But so I started being an entrepreneur at a really young age, not because I had wanted to do it. It's because I needed to do it. Like I had no choice. At that point though, it wasn't even about money. It wasn't even about freedom. It was like I needed to survive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like everybody I feel who had been fortunate to like have gone to college, had been fortunate to go to college. I wasn't able to do that. So what I needed was a stepping stone. And I went to esthetician school. So I've been a licensed esthetician since I was 18. Worked a sales job while I was at school for like 2 months working at a spa. Like I was selling like spa memberships at Massage Envy. Anyway, so graduated esthetician school, and I remember all the estheticians were telling me that they hated working there, and I'm like, okay, well, why would I want to work here, if you hate it so much? So I needed to find, just doing some research, it was just either hotels or becoming like an independent contractor, so just like commission based and stuff, which I was really cool with. And then just realizing, wow, like I can do this by myself. So at 19, I opened up my own skincare business in Pacific Beach. I've been doing that since, and I found myself at 22 really burnt out. Like 22, such a young age to get burnt out in a career I thought I was going to do forever. And even at that point, I was working 80 hours a week, and I was looking at everybody who was in college, all our friends in college who was still in college, and I got FOMO. Like honestly, like I didn't get to
FOMO.
FOMO, like I didn't.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, like I just didn't get to experience like
the college life.
So
you went on social media and you were like looking at everyone else.
That's the issue with social media sometimes. Like you get caught up in someone else's life. You look and you're like, man, what if I did this? And you start questioning. Yeah, I understand.
No, for sure. And then even people would tell me all the time, like you're doing really well, and you're like out. I was just living on my own at 19, like having my own business, like got like everything that I had, I honestly just manifested. I needed,
What made you want to get into like the skincare?
So I was extremely passionate about skincare, something that this has been really important to me since I was little, something that my mom had just, beliefs that she was like put in.
Just looking flawless. The people that are not just watching this video and are listening to the pod,
just let it
my goodness.
Help.
Goddess level, like who? I need some tips. You got one customer right here. Trust.
So yeah, it was just skincare. And my original plan was just for it to be my stepping stone. You know, I was going to do that and then put myself to college. So 22, I ended up just selling my business. I traveled. I traveled around Asia. I came back 2 months later, and I had no plan. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I got my first 9 to 5. Now, like, working at a med spa. I was working at a med spa, and I loved it.
She said the dreadful 9 to 5. Oh, no.
Yeah. No. But listen, I liked it. I loved working in the 9 to 5, and the reason why is because I had time. Time is the most expensive commodity that I didn't have before, so then I had all this freedom. And then a couple months later, I was like, wow, like, I've been my own boss before. I know that there's something bigger out there for me. I know there's something so much better out there for me. I just needed to find that vehicle to get me to where I want to go. You know, I've always believed in, like, goals and dreams and stuff, like, whatever, like, you want, you can have whatever it is, like whether it's like the body that you want, the car that you want. It's like we're like so inclined to, you really want to get a concert, that ticket's like $2,000, we're going to do whatever you want to get that $2,000 to the concert. And that's how I feel about life. Like, it's just belief and then doing it. So, you know, everything that I've ever wanted has still the same thing that I've ever wanted before. I just needed that vehicle. So a couple months later, my cousin had said something at Christmas, and he said, you know, I'm enjoying life right now. I'm making money in my sleep. And something like this light bulb was like, wow, how come I'm not making money in my sleep? Like, how can I do that? So it wasn't until March of 2018, a really great friend of mine said, Celine, like, I know that you've been working 9 to 5 for a couple months now. And he's like, knew my situation. I want to introduce you to something that could really change your life, and we can like make money together. And I said, great, what is it? And it ended up being Forex. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with Forex, but Forex is the largest financial market in the world.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so tell us about that. So you went from skincare to a 9 to 5. And so you went from having your own business, right? Because you had to. You didn't have a choice. And that's the thing too, like when your back is up against the wall, you know, you find yourself having to figure out an avenue, period, because you have to survive, like how you're saying. So you did that, and then you went to a traditional 9 to 5. So you knew what it's like to work for someone else, right? Having to wake up, having to clock in, clock out, you know, not able to, you know, make ends meet because, you know, the traditional 9 to 5 minimum wage is horrible, right? And then you went from...
It was even worse back then. Like, it was like $10.
Right, like $10.50, I think?
Yeah, and that was nothing.
In California, too.
Yeah, in California.
Exactly.
So you
couldn't
did that.
afford gas.
Seriously.
Yeah, seriously.
So you went from that, you know, then you got introduced to Forex. So I have an idea of what Forex is, but why don't you just kind of explain to the people viewing and the people listening what...
I don't know.
For sure.
What Forex is.
So
exactly.
let me go into... You talked about the whole employee and stuff. Let me tell you guys about like the cash flow. Have you guys read Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like one of my favorite books, and that information has really changed how I view money. Okay, this is really important because I feel like a lot of people don't know this even till today. There's a lot of adults like grandpas and grandmas who don't know about the Four Quadrants. So basically what Robert Kiyosaki says is that there are 4 different areas where how money's created. Okay, so majority of people participate in the employee quadrant. Okay, so this is where people exchange their time and effort for money. And then we have self-employed. So instead of having a 9 to 5, you have a 24/7.
Exactly.
Okay, but your income is completely dependent on you. Okay, if you're not providing the service or doing the job, then your income is obsolete. So I was there. Like, I didn't get a paycheck every single week. Okay, I didn't have like paid time off. I didn't have any sick days or anything, no benefits, right? So then what he talks about is just going from that left side to the right side of the quadrant, okay? So it's just wealth. Now, top right is business owners, and these people leverage other people's times and effort for money, okay? So then on the bottom rights, we have investors. Now, this is where literally only 1% of the whole entire world participate in. These are people who are financially literate. They understand the wealth game and how to have money work for them, okay? So I'll give you guys a philosophy that comes to money. You know, we're taught that money doesn't grow on trees. That's not true because money is paper.
Yeah.
Paper comes from trees. Second, if you want more, you have to plant it. Okay, money is a seed. So there's many different ways people can do this.
Repeat that one more time. Because
just
people
dropping wisdom. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Because a lot of people, you know, that the old saying goes, you just did a whole flip on that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, but it does grow on trees.
Though. So money is meant to be multiplied, right? Money, we're taught money money is not paper. Paper doesn't come from trees, but that's not true because money is
Money
paper.
is paper.
Second, money is a seed. You want more, you have to plant it. Okay, so there's many different ways people can do this. Real estate, stock markets, but one of the fastest way to multiply your money is through the world of Forex. So I'll give you guys, I know everybody's heard of like stocks and stuff. Stocks is literally like a swimming pool and Forex is the ocean. So Forex is a $5.3 trillion per day industry. And what it basically is currency exchange. So short for foreign exchange. Have you guys ever traveled out of the country?
Yeah.
So where have you gone?
Mexico, Uganda, Canada, you know.
Yeah. So let's say I go to Mexico, Canada, Europe. If I go to Europe, I would exchange my USD for euros. Okay, so wherever I'm going, the current exchange rate that I'm getting back is based off the current exchange rate that's constantly fluctuating. So this is why we call it currency, because it's always moving, right? $5.3 trillion per day, like I said, and the best part is like you can trade Forex on any device. So you can make money regardless of what's happening in the market.
Right.
Like it's just like real estate, you buy low, sell high, and that's literally what it is. You just catch movements, and that's what I do. I mean, I just kind of do it all on my smart device. So that information that I was exposed to about like Robert Kiyosaki, cash flow, really had me thinking like, man, if I'm not going to be changing my ways or thinking, then I'm just always going to be where I'm at. And especially where we are right now, 2019, 2020, like we're moving in such a fast digital world that I needed to be way ahead of the wave. Like I need to just go in now and then just create instead of way later when everybody's in and just, you know.
Right, because the thing about technology, right, kind of going based off what you were saying, you can do Forex trading on any device, you know, as long as you have Wi-Fi, right? You know, so you know, your smart device, your laptop, your desktop, doesn't matter, you know, but that just goes to show the difference in the change of the world that we live in, right? It's crazy to think that there's multiple ways to make money now. Like people make money on Amazon and all that stuff now by literally just buying stuff. Like Gary Vee, he buys stuff from garage sales and then resells it online to turn a profit. We couldn't do that. You know what? Even 10 years ago, I feel like
10 years you could do it. You could,
it's eBay, but like
the eBay stuff, but
the
not
information wasn't at our fingertip, and it wasn't readily accessible
accessible
like it is right now.
Right.
And
but we also like just weren't taught that way. That's really what it is.
Close.
It's who, even in schools today, they still don't teach people about, you know, the system. I feel like we're again taught to go to school, get good grades,
get good grades, go to college. Then after college, you get your little certificate, and then you know you can get a job, right? That traditional way is still being taught, but there's a whole nother beaten path that they don't teach in school at all, you know. And Forex is obviously definitely one of them. That's pretty cool.
Forex. I feel like you don't really learn a lot out of school till you're out in the real world, like taxes. You know what? I remember after high school when I got my first car at 18, I was so mad in the dealership because I'm like, no one in school taught me this. Like, like the process of like getting a car, like credit, all that. That's a change I'd love to see in the future for sure. Is maybe Forex courses, e-com, real estate, or something. Just another cash flow besides.
I mean, they have modern math, but they really need to modernize.
Yeah, like for example, they don't
course.
even teach in school. They don't teach the kids how to, you know, create an LLC or a C corp or an S corp or any of that.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Establishing credit.
Take
out a loan.
How do you start your credit? I remember that was one of the things once I got out of high school. I was like, okay, you got to have a credit score. Okay, how do I actually start a credit score?
Yeah.
Like they don't teach that.
And then how do you like buy a car if you don't have credit?
Right.
How am I going to get to work if I don't have a car? And then it just starts piling up.
They don't teach real life things that happen. It's like they have you on that conveyor belt. Once you hop off that conveyor belt, it's like, all right, bye-bye. You graduated. Yay. Everybody throws their hats up. And then, you know, a month later, it's like,
well, our current education system is, it really doesn't matter who you are, and we're all different kinds of animals. Let's say this, I'll use this analogy. We're all different kinds of animals, and we're just taught, hey, you need to climb this tree. but I'm a fish. How am I going to climb this tree if I'm in water and fishes don't exist? Like, it's just, I'm in a totally different avenue. I'm an entrepreneur. You're not training me or teaching me how to become a proper engineer, like entrepreneur and be successful. So,
but it's not, again, it's also, I don't down jobs or school ever. Like, if you are happy, you love your job, that's great. Important. Absolutely. But it's just, also money, you know, it's also not even about money, and I preach this all the time. It's about freedom. People say all the time, like, what is it? Money is not the root of all evil. Being broke is the root of all evil. I mean, it's not even about, again, having the money. It's what money can do for you. It's a tool.
That's not even the full saying. When you read it, if they say the root of if they say it's money is the root of all sorts of injurious things, it's the love of money is the root of all sorts of injurious things. It's the love of money.
It's what it can do for you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So speaking of money, so Forex, it's exchanging money, right? So
you're buying low and selling high, and you're going to continue to do that, and you're just watching the trends and tracking the trends.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of Forex pairs. The only Forex pairs I do like to trade is USD, like Canadian, but I am really big into cryptocurrency, and that is what I mostly trade is cryptocurrency USD.
And it's making a big comeback. I mean, there's a lot of legislation that's getting passed that so you can buy houses with cryptocurrency now.
Yeah, you can pay rent, and I've bought airplane tickets with it. Even Starbucks now accepts cryptocurrency, and
I'm contemplating it because I got into a little bit of mining back in 2013 and 14, just with like an expensive computer, and I'm still thinking of it from the technical side, and you're just like just in this last 30 seconds just already blowing up my world with it's actually possible. It's not just it's not just relegated to the realm of geeks and like basements trying to like using their mother's electrical bill to pay off for crypto to mine for crypto.
It went from just an idea. It's fascinating how cryptocurrency went from simply an idea that people were like, oh, that's never gonna no digital money, no. When we had digital money in the first place, they better put their money in a bank account and use their cards, which is digital money in the first place, right? It's crazy how it went from that to now it's something of substance.
It's changing people's perspectives. Like, you have to make it, you have to be able to utilize it in society and show like, hey, this is real. I am able to purchase this, and just change people's thought process on it. Once that changes and society actually shifts towards cryptocurrency, I don't see us using paper dollars or having any kind of I don't carry change on me right now.
By the time we're in our 40s and 50s, our kids and
just using Bitcoin.
Like that, they're going to be using crypto, in my opinion.
It's been like a global accepted form of payment. Like, literally everything you can see, do you want to pay in Bitcoin? And honestly, just Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is has more capital than all the altcoins and stuff. But yeah, you can literally pay anything with Bitcoin nowadays, even rent.
Really?
One of like the I know a property manager, he only takes Bitcoin for rent.
That's crazy.
We're blowing people's mind right now. We have a lot of people like, back in my day, I used to trade in shiny rocks.
No, but that's another thing. Like, trading, like people have been trading for years, centuries, and stuff. Instead of like
this
money.
This isn't something that's new.
No, it's not. People used to trade cows and chickens, seriously, or baskets and stuff. And now this is just currency.
It's a new age of what we trade now. Like I said, like before,
the only issue is
now they're not in that.
Yeah, the only issue with cryptocurrency is that it fluctuates and it's somewhat substantial. Like it's not consistent like the U.S. dollar or other forms of currency. Like in the cannabis industry, they had to use cryptocurrency to start off with because it wasn't federally legal for the longest time, and some states still don't accept it. So they're using cryptocurrency to do these transactions, trade in large quantities, but the Bitcoin can drop $500, and if you're trading for 2,000 Bitcoin and $500 each, that's a substantial amount of money that you're losing out on, and you're not going to be able to replicate that or like sustain that as a business model, until it like really stays consistent.
So enlighten us on that, Celine. So how do you deal with, because that's one of the things that a lot of people say, you can buy Bitcoin at $1,000, but then the next day it can drop down to like 500 and you lost. Like, is that how it works? So kind of enlighten the listeners and the viewers on.
Yes, it might not be that substantial, but like
the substantial like up and downs. Because in real estate, like right now, everyone is thinking, okay, I'm gonna hold off on buying because I know that the market's gonna crash, right? Everybody thinks that real estate is a bubble, crashes, everybody buys, which brings the market back up.
But that's the thing.
That's the
I am waiting for the bubble. Like you're in real estate. There is a bubble
everyone is.
right
You're
now.
not the only one.
Okay.
But what people fail to realize is that is how the market trends have always been. It's always been it crashes, goes back up, crashes, goes back up, crashes, goes back up, and if you just ride that wave, you'd be successful. But how is that in cryptocurrency and forex exchange?
So that is also where like trading comes, because with crypto you can actually like hold stuff and then just like you buy it, but that's also where trading comes in. Like how I said, you can trade USD with cryptocurrency, you can catch movements. Like you make money if it's going to go down or if it's going to go up. Does that make sense? But when it comes to, you're talking about like holding, if I know that cryptocurrency is going to go down, I just remove it and then I'll put it back and reinvest it. Makes sense? But
so is it similar to like a stock? Like is that how you would view like exchanging crypto and all that stuff? Is it similar to somebody saying, okay, I'm going to buy 3 stocks of Apple or Amazon and then hold it? Is it similar when it comes to doing that?
Yeah, it is. It is just, how to explain this? With just really large movements. I mean, just recently we went from like 9,000 to 15,000, knowing we're going to go back down to 9,000, the 10,000 level that we're at right now. But I mean, it's just investing smart too. I mean, I don't ever recommend people to just be like, hey, buy Bitcoin. Like you obviously need to
well, you gotta get educated on it, and then you're able to if you're looking at it.
Honestly, I recommend people, yes, like having a portfolio like a crypto blockchain, but also learning how to trade it, because you can make money in different ways in that with cryptocurrency, even just forex and our whole industry.
Would you say that tracking cryptocurrencies is a little bit more predictable than just watching the ups and downs of the Dow Jones?
I actually, honestly, guys, I'm not that much educated in stocks and stuff. I'm not that.
It's not your field.
Interested. No, not at all.
Same.
But also because stocks is only like 1 billion, but it's only 1 billion. Cryptocurrency is almost about 1 trillion. But yeah, so forex is 5.3 trillion, and then cryptocurrency is anticipated to hit 1 trillion cap.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm not that into
stocks. What does that
and
mean exactly? So does that mean that you have more ample opportunity doing crypto and forex exchanging versus doing stocks?
Stocks, yeah. I mean, from what I know, are you guys familiar with stocks and stuff?
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. That's I guess the point that I'm trying to bring out is everyone, they hear the word trading, holding, all that stuff. They view, oh, it's a stock, right? But what you're saying is cryptocurrency is different, right? And so is forex, exchanging currency is different as well. It's not like would you say it's more predictable or less predictable than stocks? Stocks goes based off of how well like a company does, right? You have to feed into the news of what the company's doing. If they hire a new CEO, or if they fired the CFO, or if they created a new product and everyone thinks it's trash, stock goes down.
Or competition. I mean, look at Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix is stock. If you have Netflix stock, sell it, because Disney Plus is coming out, and then you got Hulu, and you have HBO, and all these different just streaming services that are going to come up. And it's Netflix really monopolized the industry of streaming, the streaming platforms for like entertainment. So. That you have that company, and you obviously competition plays a role, but in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, does competition play a factor? Do those factors that afflict a business kind of transition over to cryptocurrency?
Or is it more so about like the nation that you're doing the exchange for?
Yeah,
right?
so that too. I mean, especially with like forex and stuff, it's our economy. There's a lot of different ways that markets are affected, like governments, like hedge funds and stuff, banks especially. But yeah, a lot of the news does affect. With cryptocurrency, yes, there's just a lot with cryptocurrency, especially with a lot of companies having them, like Jaguar. Is that how you say it? Jaguar?
What's that?
Jaguar, the car.
Jaguar.
Yeah, they are like,
Jaguar.
for example, like if you own a car,
right,
you can now like earn cryptocurrency just driving your car.
Wait, whoa. Time
isn't that crazy?
No, see, and this is why I love this show, because you were learning. So I didn't know that. So how does that work?
You just buy one of their cars, and literally like you hit like certain mileage points or something, they give you cryptocurrency. They pay you.
Do you know where the nearest dealership is?
That can do that, right?
I don't.
But it's effective.
Yeah, so
it's got
things like that
has that much
the
effect.
market.
Yeah.
And then I know a lot of banks now too are going to start like playing with like XRP. That's Ripple. But what's also crazy is that cryptocurrency is really like anybody can make a coin, and it literally starts from nothing. I mean, it's just a coin. But when it comes to predicting cryptocurrency, even just like Forex, like, no, we don't predict the market because all market conditions are uncertain. But that's where your education comes in,
right,
just putting a lot of your time into your craft and what does go around a lot of psychology in it. With all trading and stuff, it's all literally like a mindset, mental thing.
Yeah.
It's all 90% mental, 10% skill. And it's probably only like, it's probably 90% mental, because it's like you're dealing with financial literacy.
Yeah.
And everybody's just,
I mean, you can't get into any business that you get into. You have to have a level of education.
Well, it goes back to that ignorance. Just coming out of high school, we didn't know how to establish our credit, buy a car, or anything like that. And that doesn't stop throughout your life. And we have to get educated, just like we have to educate the older generations on cryptocurrency. They have no idea. Like, what is it? It's just digital currency. It's not tangible. It's not something that you can hold. It's
decentralized.
It's decentralized. It's spread out amongst a whole bunch of servers, and to really conceptualize that kind of thing, and it's all good. Dropping the cap. To conceptualize that in your brain and to really grasp it is difficult if you're not familiar with it, So it's just about educating yourself, educating others, and then growing with it. So I'm excited. I need to get educated
too.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I tell people this too, it's the things that you don't know about something really hurt you. Like information that you haven't came across like affects you and just people around you. And that's why like my mission and something that I want to do, I mean, besides, family and stuff, is really to educate thousands, like millions all around the world about like cryptocurrency, or even just, whoever I've come across, like, this is what it's done for me. What can this can do for you?
Be able to tell your story. So what's your overall goal when it comes to what you do? So
I trade, and then I teach people across the globe how they can do the same thing. The reason why I started, besides like time and freedom and stuff, was really because of my mom. Again, just feel like we've been through a lot since 2013. I mean, just our whole life. My mom had me at a really young age, and it's just always been her and I. But anyway, growing up, it was just all about sacrifice. Like, our life has just been sacrifice. Even until this day, I've been making a lot of just sacrifices in my life, separating to elevate, things like that. But I want this to really be the last time that we sacrifice anything. Besides my mom, again, it's about people and how I can help and serve people all around the world. And back to what I was saying, how information that you don't know hurt you and stuff. I forgot what I was saying. I just got clouded.
No
worries.
But
so you look at yourself like, once you reach that certain goal, that certain aspiration, you see yourself just simply
that next level,
which would be educating people on how, continuing to educate people on how to actually get into cryptocurrency and forex exchange.
Or just money. Honestly, it's whatever that you're doing in this world, whether it's going to be forex or crypto, because it's really not for everybody. It's for everybody. It's not for everybody. 95% people who start to trade fail. So, but really just educating masses on how cash flow works and knowing that they can take any circumstance, any situation that they're in and literally turn it all around with just educating yourself. Self-education formal education will make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. So, but
I love that. I love it because when you're tying it into earlier when you said about college, well, that's not for me. Why am I going to be going to do this? Why am I not going to see a return on it? You're not against the education or against the learning aspect of it. You were against the way it was learning, a way of learning. So by teaching yourself, you're going to be able to be even more successful than anyone can imagine.
Right.
Just want to show people what's possible. Honestly, I've talked to thousands, hundreds of people literally everywhere. And I always ask them, like, where do you see yourself in like 5 years, 3 years? And I'm like, I don't know. But it's like, I feel like people really do know. Like if you thought about, maybe people don't really think about the higher version of selves. I always do, but I have always had an idea of like how and where I want to be. Like,
so tell us about that.
Like I've like traveling, I've always ever since I was little, I knew I was going to be something really big, but not even, I'm not talking about like some superstar or like some like author or something. I just knew that I was just going to hit all my goals. Like everything that I've ever wanted has like came to me, but a lot of people don't think that way. I don't
Well, you
think
make it happen.
Yeah,
you
I
visualize,
just do. I just manifest everything.
That's
and
great.
everybody has an ability. It's like literally not even a superpower, but that's why I want to help people.
And I see a trend, Orlando. Like in this podcast, we've only had 2 guests, and I might be jumping the gun. We might have that guest is like, I'm just in this for the money, for myself. But with Rashid and with you're providing a viable service, and you are trying to help people.
Yeah,
you really
for sure.
And that's
you have
great.
to really pour into people, honestly, before you even. I read that I forgot who said that. I don't know if it was like Jim Rohn, but he was saying like you have to Robert Kiyosaki said that too. The fortune is like in helping people, pour into people and watch
them grow. Knowing that you can, train not train somebody, but teach somebody, certain ways, to gain knowledge. Like how we were just talking about, buying a car and all that stuff. Like my dad, passed it down to me. He was like, okay, this is how you do it. And I'm like, oh, okay. It's a different form of education, in school, like how we were saying before, they teach you one path, right? But once everyone graduates, the funny thing is no one continues to learn, right? So
it could be an environment thing too.
Right. So after you graduate high school or college, our brains are made to continue to learn and pull more substance. So with you, I like what you're saying because you want to continue not training, but at that education, for people, whether it's in forex, whether it's in currency exchange, just in general, as far as how you can, would you say, become your own boss and do your own thing besides
create your life by design.
Right.
There's so many people that I haven't met yet that I haven't touched, honestly, but every time that's how I think. Like I'm walking in stores and I'm like, dang, like that's your life, like how can I help you? Is everything like that? No, really, I'm serious. Like I see a lot of people, like moms and they're like 6 kids at Walmart, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I just want to what can I share with you today that could possibly change your life? It doesn't even have to be cryptocurrency or like forex and stuff. Like I said, it's not for everybody, but it's just information that people aren't exposed to. It's an environment thing too. People aren't around the campfire enough, or people are just not separating.
Right. It's very cool to see how your motivation evolved from high school to now. It was it started off survival. Survival. Just needed to get paid, needed to get that check, needed to pay these bills, and then to I can accomplish things. I want to purchase things. I want to experience things. I'm going to go grab it. And then 9 to 5 comfortability. I'm going to be content. I like this right here. And then now I want to teach others to get that. Now I want to share this with others. Yeah, and that's great. I think everybody should strive for that.
Right. So that's a hell of a goal to have, Celine. But now I want to go into, one of the things that I ask all my guests, which is, you know, what is your motive? What is your drive? What is your motivation to do what you do?
Well, like what wakes me up
Who
every
motivates
day?
you? What wakes you up every single day?
My mom.
Yeah?
Literally. I think that for people to pursue anything, people need to have a really strong why. Like your why needs to
the motive,
it has to make you want to cry all the time. And my mom just ignites so much passion into me, and I just have so much love for her, and I can't wait to really like just free her and give her, you know, like our parents like birthed us. Like
I
just want to like rebirth her or something. Like let me show you the whole life.
Mom reminds me every day. She tells me, she's like, I brought you in.
I can take you out.
I'm about to bring her into a whole other world. But that's literally what is my end goal of all this. My mom is what drives me and why I do this. And that's how, remember, back to that question of how I see myself living, that's it. I see myself traveling and hanging out with my mom. Aww. And that is, I mean, that's like, what more can I ask for?
Yeah. Right.
But...
Right. So I have a question, because you're into the foreign exchange and you're into traveling, so those two go hand in hand. What places would you be interested in traveling where it may not break the bank, but it's something you'd be interested in that you'd be able to get more value of, or more, like where is cryptocurrency more accepted in, where it would, at least in today's market, where would cryptocurrency be accepted in, where does the dollar hold stronger, like where would you be looking for that?
Wow, that's a really great question. I mean, cryptocurrency really is just like, I feel more in America where we can use right now. But with currency, I mean, I've been to like the Philippines and stuff. Honestly, anytime I have the opportunity to travel internationally, I'll spend like a month and a half, month or 2 months in the Philippines, and our dollar goes such a long way there. And I'm sure that's how it is like going to like Colombia, places like Honduras or something. Our dollar just goes a long way. Yeah. But that's probably Asia. Like Thailand is on my list actually, and Bali. That's where I want to go. Bali and Thailand.
Well, China is coming up on cryptocurrency too. There's some places. There's some places that accept cryptocurrency. They have their own cryptocurrency out there. I mean, traveling out there right now with the protests may not be the best idea, but they're on the come up. China is definitely coming up on everything. They're getting closer, and they want to compete with America in a lot of things when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to currency, military, but that's a different discussion. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, and then in Europe, same way. Like you got London and Britain that have their own cryptocurrency too, and then trade in Bitcoin right now. And I think it is going to be the future. Come 10, 15 years, it's going to be way more prevalent. Goodness, frog.
Dude, I'm gonna say this on this podcast today. I'm gonna have my own coin.
Yeah? What's it gonna be called?
Okay, so that's
I can't tell you guys.
Today is the 24th of August, 2019.
Saturday.
2019. Write it down, George.
It's 1:20 p.m.
When we connect with her next, she's gonna have
at 1:20 p.m.
Yeah.
We'll have you. Is it 1:20 p.m. on a Saturday? What we'll do is we'll have you back on episode 120.
There you go. Hey. Yes.
Right,
I don't know. Well, actually, I'll set my goals.
I mean,
I'll have a coin.
That'd be insane. If you were to have your coin, what would you like? Have you ever thought about what you're gonna name?
Yes, I can't tell you guys.
Yeah, she's not gonna.
I'll launch it next time I'll launch it. Yeah,
that's dope.
Amazing.
That's dope.
The goodness gracious. I mean, go ahead.
When it comes to, you said that you've traveled before, right? Where have you traveled to?
I've been to the Philippines. I've been to Taiwan. I've been to China. Where have I been? Where else? South Korea. Actually, I've only been to South Korea for like 2 days, like on a
that counts.
On a stop. But did you like it out there? Because I did.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite?
I just like food. I'm such a foodie.
Yeah.
So I really just travel places for food. Wherever I go, it's like I want to eat what you guys eat.
Right.
Like,
that's goals right there.
There.
Yeah, because you gotta experience what the people consume.
I want to do local stuff. Like I like going on buses and like
That's dope. No,
like, I want to do, if I lived here, what would I do on the daily? Like, that's the things that I look forward to.
That's how you need to travel. If you're traveling on a diet, why are you even leaving your house?
Yeah, because I see on your Instagram, I'm like, dude, she's all over the place. Like, how?
Like, am I over? Yeah, I am.
Like, like when I'm scrolling through and I see you post something, I'm like, where is this at? Like, she travels all the time. This is awesome. So that's why I wanted to bring you on board, because I'm like, I gotta figure out, what it is that Celine does for a living. But that just goes to show, with cryptocurrency and foreign exchange, it gives you that freedom, because like how you're saying, you can do it wherever,
whatever.
The difference with like
trade, travel, transform.
There you go. Yeah. So like with being a videographer, same thing. You can travel all over, like how you're saying in episode 2. Like your goal is to be able to be mobile, and be able to
do you want to travel with like influencers and stuff?
I want to be the influencer traveling, but yeah, there's a lot of I will be traveling with a lot of people. That's
you film me filming others.
that would be the goal. I love filming. I love traveling. My family backstory a little bit. They're from the Middle East, so we have a lot of.
So there's like nothing.
Lebanon was called Paris in the 60s. It was the new Paris of the Middle East in the 60s. That part of the world.
Oh my gosh, I was thinking about like America. That's why I said it was like.
Yeah, no,
you're Middle East, like Middle Eastern.
Yeah, not Midwestern, Middle East.
We're not talking Ohio.
No. But like my family's from Syria and Lebanon, and there's a lot, because like that's like the crux of where Western world meets Eastern world, and that's one of the areas I want to go. I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Lebanon. I want to go to Turkey. If any of you guys have seen Sizi and Burak. There's a chef that looks like me from Turkey.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, you post that.
Yeah, there's a guy in Turkey. He makes massive like plates of food, and I want to travel. I want to take photos and video. So I'm like,
pretend to be him someday.
Well, not even that. I want to see if I can make videos for him, so we could do like I'd be his stunt double.
That'd be dope.
He's like thought about this.
Oh yeah,
he's stunt double.
Oh, exactly. Just his food stunt double. I'll be the guy who's eating.
This is dangerous dish, creme brulee. Bring out the torch.
Exactly. But no, that's why I'm really interested in the Forex. I've been looking into it a little bit, and when Kyle and Orlando were mentioning with Forex, I was just fascinated. How do you do this? And now that you mentioned about travel, it's just, how do you do these things? How do you get from place to place? How do you like what places where is the dollar more valuable? Where is it less valuable? I mean, obviously Europe and wherever the euro and the pound is used, it's more expensive. But like, how do you stretch a buck that far? How do you make more from it? And it's been fascinating just hearing your story. So it's pretty incredible.
Just in your opinion, how would you get started? How do you get started?
I was going to ask the same
thing.
Yeah.
How do you get started
for someone fresh? That's like, okay, now hearing Celine say what she has to say, I want to do this. Where would you recommend like a newbie starting?
Yeah, so I recommend reaching out to me. No, seriously, guys, reach out to me. My Instagram is Celine Patiu. I don't know if...
No, plug.
Yeah,
plug
it's just CLINEPATIU. When it comes to trading, honestly, it's not for everybody, but it is for everybody. Like, if you feel like you're a crossroad, maybe you're just wanting to learn an extra skill set, this is going to be a great skill set to have. Like, you can take this wherever, whenever, for the rest of your life, right? And also, a goal here with trading you were talking about is really to be a part-time trader with full-time income. Like, I really don't look at the charts every day, 24/7. Like, nobody wants to do that. But also, this also isn't like a get-rich-quick thing. This does take anything you do, you got to put in hours.
That takes time.
But also, just if you're coming into Forex thinking, like, Celine, how can I take $500, make this into $1 million in 2 weeks? Like, this isn't going to be for you. I don't know.
I think that's an unrealistic goal for anyone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there's a lot, people kind of come in here thinking this is gambling, and it's really not. The way, if you come in here and say, Celine, how can I take this $500 and turn this into a timely manner, compound interest will always pay you. So anyway, if you guys reach out to me, I'll definitely show you guys how I got started, what platform that I used, and how I have been able to free myself from a 9-to-5 and, get back into my entrepreneur journey.
Nice. So for the people listening and the people watching, like, Celine, her goal is to, teach you guys how to actually do it. So for her, she's like, look, you don't have to worry about where to start. Just reach out to me and I got you. Right?
Yeah, I do.
So
I have one question. This is a I know we're wrapping up here, but it's really something I'm curious to ask is what's a failure, because I know that with investing there can be a lot of ups and downs. What's one failure that has set you up to where you are today?
Wow, that's a really great question. I love failing.
George with the good question.
Yeah, for real.
What failure has really set me up to where I am today? Honestly, it's because I constantly was failing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have to, I tell people, please make a mistake, please at all.
Yeah.
So the faster you fail, the faster you're going to learn. Does that make sense?
Right.
I've been through it. I didn't just shoot it up here. Being an entrepreneur has a lot of valleys, a lot of down moments, a lot of up moments and stuff. And that's why, it's just because I didn't give up. 2 years ago, I almost, like when I said I got my 9 to 5, I almost didn't come back becoming an entrepreneur. I said, F making blogs and stuff and writing skincare stuff. I never want to do this again. Like I'm okay in content as long as I have time. But that was the problem, is I didn't have the time. And then I was like, now I was stagnant, not making the income or going where I needed to go. And honestly, it just wasn't until I became and surrounded by a lot of like successful people, people who had the results that I wanted.
Right, even like-minded people too. It's who you hang around with too. Like if you hang around with like-minded individuals, then that's going to push you, motivate you internally to continue to persevere.
And that also, so failing and stuff, and also just business. Like if it wasn't for skincare, and if it wasn't for starting my business at that time and burning myself out, I would not be here. And I am like now today, I really am happy. I feel so blessed. I'm overly blessed. And I have time, I have freedom, and I'm able to hang out with my family, and like just provide. And every time I'm like hitting just goals now, I just want to keep reaching. We're just never satisfied where we are. We're going to keep wanting to go to next level. And
that's a great mindset to have, and to have people around you that have that same mindset are just, they're going to grow with you.
Exactly.
Help you grow.
I just want to see everyone win. I don't care what you guys do. If you're going to join Forex with me or not, or just as long as we're
winning
successful together.
Exactly.
That's what I want to see in everybody. Even in Temecula, like our
right. Like how Rasheed Jones was saying in episode 0, he was like, I want to meet everybody at the top.
Yeah.
I don't want to be at the top by myself. There's no fun in that.
The top is not lonely unless you're bringing people with you.
Right. Exactly. So, well, that being said, thank you, Celine, for being a part of the podcast for sure. What we're going to do is definitely give you the time now to, plug yourself in and let everybody know where they can reach you.
Yeah, so I am on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. I'm going to start being very Facebook active. I think Facebook is still really king. Anyway, add me. I'm Celine Patiu, Celine Patiu.
All right, perfect. And that's on Instagram and Facebook?
And Facebook, yeah.
All right, cool. So thank you for being on Millennial Motive. And until next time, guys.
Yay. Next time I'm going to have my own coin. Bye.